Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Elden Ring. This is episode 3 of Hero's Journey, and thank you guys so much for being here. At the end of the last episode, we purchased this buckler from a merchant, and by purchase, I mean we killed the merchant and then got the buckler elsewhere. However, I wanted to show you exactly why I wanted this weapon, because there's a good reason. The buckler has the most parry frames of any shield in the game. Why are these guys following me? I mean, I do need the parts, but am I about to get in a goat fight? It has the most frames to actually parry an attack, which can be incredibly powerful. There are some Ashes of War that you can put on shields that give comparable parry frames, like it close enough, and also give you the ability to actually knock spells back. But the buckler has always been a staple in Souls games, and I thought we could start today's episode off, showing you why that is. Real quick, before we jump into the meat. Thank you guys for being here. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. And a big thank you to our channel members for supporting our content. Okay, I'm not perfect, okay? I did my best! So, the plan today is to take down Godrick and make it look easy. But in order to do that, first I need to buy a few things. We are at the very first church that you show up at in Elden Ring. We are going to purchase, you know what, I'm going to buy all of this, but we're really here for the crafting kit. I said early on that this playthrough was going to be very crafting focused, and it's very difficult to do that if you don't have a crafting kit. So if you want to join me on this part of the playthrough, all you need to do is talk to this guy right here at the Church of El. I could also buy this torch from him, and I don't think it's a terrible idea. These may have uses later in the game, but I don't want to have something that's taking up an equipment slot, because that would be kind of inconvenient. So let's get something a little better. Next, we are traveling southwest back to the Fourth Church of America. When we did our pilgrimage and we were looking for healing items, this is one of the places we went to. Good teleport to have, because if we go southwest from here, avoiding the Big Dong for the time being, and heading towards a small shack on the coast, we will find another site of grace, but also one of the most useful items in the game. It is a lantern that you can place on your belt and walk around with it without it actually taking up an equipment slot. It is kind of pricey at 1,800 souls, at least early in the game, but it is well worth the investment. This is an item we're going to be using throughout our entire journey here. Next, we are traveling back to Caelid. I am on the southern road, and there's a merchant right here that I'm very interested in meeting. This is around the same area we were fighting the Knights Cavalry in the previous episode. Even though where I'm going is on the road, I'm giving the road a wide berth because these bug dudes do not care about me at all. And that dragon over there does not care about me at all. I was a little off with my marker. It actually looks like he's very close to where we picked up the map fragment, right off the edge of the road here. Let's make sure he has what I'm actually after. Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 15. That's the one. If we buy this thing, we're going to be able to start crafting something very cool. We can start putting together rot bone arrows. Now, these are going to take a little bit of time to get the things for this. We need thin beast bones. We can find these off of a lot of the goats that roll around. Personally, my go-to spot to farm these goats is up here on the Stormhill, very close to the guy we were fighting at the beginning of the video. This field is literally just chock full of goats, and as you fly by, giving them a quick swing, I'm not going to kill all of these guys, but once they start to disperse a little bit too much, and I don't feel like chasing them down anymore, I'll just turn around and start looting all of the bodies. These guys drop the thin bones, and because we have Arcane as one of our primary stats, the drop chance of anything that we get off of an enemy is going to drastically increase. So ideally, we spend less time farming here than most other characters would. Another good alternative would be Eagle Lake South. You can mount up, and there's a few goats pretty close by. The advantage of this place is that you can actually sit down and reset these guys at the Grace a little bit faster. However, there's not as many to kill, so if your drop rate isn't high, this one might suck. I don't know. I'm just trying to help. Just doing the best I can here, okay? In order to make the better quality arrows, we're also going to need feathers off of birds. And there's a number of oh yeah, that feels bad. There's a number of places that are just next to grace sites that you can sit down, kill some birds, get their feathers, sit down again, and repeat. I'm just here at the first steps because it was the most convenient place for me to go to. But if you guys have any better farming spots, please be sure to share those with us down in the comments, especially if you land your attack on the enemies. It shouldn't take too long to get some feathers. There we go. There's also a few around this spot. You don't have to sit down in between every one. Like, do a circle around the starting area and then reset to get these guys back. One really nice thing about this area too is we are going to need this Roa fruit in our future, and it kind of grows all over the place by the starting area. So if we just go in a few circles around here, we can get an excess of that as well. Now, unfortunately for us, the other material we need for the rot arrows is a little more rare. They are scattered all about the map, especially in Caelid. As you can see, this area does have a very big rot theme. However, they don't respawn. So as of right now, there's a limited number. We can easily farm these later in the game. I say easily with air quotes, but for now, this is going to be a very precious resource for us. I'm heading into the Lake Staying Mountain, and I'm looking for a very specific site of grace. This is it, the Aeonian butterfly. They are a purple item on the ground, which does make it a little easier to help find these things and identify them. Hey, little roly-poly, what you got? What you got? Give it here. I'm trying my best to avoid most conflict here because we're still... Oh, okay, great. He explodes. We're still a little on the low side for Caelid, but the mobility that our mount provides just allows us to run by most things. There's some floating. Just little red butterflies. This is the site of grace I'm at here. Supposedly, this is one of the biggest concentrations of this particular item. There are 7 located nearby, and the ones I looted off that corpse may have already counted towards that. Okay, all I'm seeing is explosions in every direction. I'm not seeing any more butterflies. But as of right now, we can craft... This is the fletched version, very important. We can craft 80 of these. That should last a while. We have returned to the 4th Church of Marika again. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but teleporting makes that a little bit easier. We're here because there's a cave very close by that I have never been in before, but the cave does house something that I need. Looks like this is my entrance right here on the map. Somewhere in here, there's a crafting recipe on a body, and I'm going to do my best to find it. But let's not forget that we bought that torch, and we can turn that on so we can actually see it here. This should be a very easy location for us to clear through. I'm not super worried about it. I imagine the only challenging thing would be like if there's a bunch of holes in the ground or something. There's also some cave moss in here that can be a useful crafting item, I believe, for nullifying poison, but I don't want to make that claim and not be sure. Oh, hey, gentlemen. I'm actually very familiar with these guys. There was a cave later in the game chock full of these dudes. So I'm just looking for a corpse in here somewhere. We also see some poison bloom, which is actually a crafting ingredient that we need for this recipe. So while we're in here and we see these purple flowers, these pink flowers, I'm going to be grabbing these. I mean, it might just be on this corpse right here. Let's see. What do you got? Summoning other players. No, it's a co-op item. Okay, so I've cleared out the main chamber. I am obviously poisoned, which is putting a little bit of pressure on us. I'm not going to fight these goops that are falling down. I'm just going to go down this right path and see what I can find. Unfortunately, it looks like I cannot get back up that way. Okay, this place is more maze-like than I was expecting. Definitely more maze-like. Oh, we're like 2 damage off from killing these rats in a single swing. 1 more rat in the back chamber. I don't really feel bad for being in here because this poison bloom is, ooh, abundant. It is everywhere. All right, Mama Rat. I have a sneaking suspicion that you're protecting something that I need. Yes. The Nomadic Warriors Cookbook. Oh, I found a boss room. Okay. It's Big Flower. Bro, he literally didn't even fight back. This was the freest free boss I have ever seen. Hey, we got a decent medallion, though. Raises our maximum stamina. Nice. A talisman, rather. Talisman. So the reason we wanted to go in here was because we are now able to craft poison grease. This uses poison bloom, which we found 15 of in this cave alone, as well as root resin. Let me show you where to get the root resin. This is the Ailing Village outskirts grace, just north of one of the churches we visited to get our healing items in the early game. As you can see, it's on the top of the cliff. This is not to be confused with the one kind of underneath us here. But this is one of the easiest spots I've found to pick up this stuff. All you do is run south. There's a few of these plants just sitting here. Pick those up, rest, do it again, and you guessed it, that root resin comes right back. Super duper easy farm right here. We're on the home stretch of the crafting, but this is for you guys. Even if you're not interested in crafting, this could be a really good pickup right here. And it kind of complements the talisman that we just picked up. And considering I only have 2, I should probably lean into my talisman a little bit. So this raises my maximum stamina. Stamina is the green bar underneath our health bar. Dictates how often we can swing, how much we can run. And in general, it's a good thing to have a lot of. So if you use that jump located at the Castlemorn Rampart, you can land on top of this tower, and on this body here in the corner is the turtle shell shield. Now, like I said, today I'm going to be fighting Godrick. I'm not planning on parrying him, so I can put this on my back. I don't even have to use this. It doesn't have to be out. For instance, you see that it needs 14 strength to wield. Might level up to get that, by the way, because this shield could be really good. But if I'm just two-handing my weapon, we're still gaining the benefit even without being able to block with this super well. Why is that important? Gives us a stamina regen buff for free, just for having it. Super good early game item, and that is how you get it. Speaking of stamina regen, though, we are not done. We are going to be heading east from the Stormhill shack. I'm going to follow my own directions, and we are simply going to be following the road here for quite some time until it turns into a bridge later on. Hey, Pumpkinhead, how you doing? Let's just give him a little love tap as we're running by. Once we reach the other side of the bridge, we're immediately going to be turning to the south and looking for this wonderful merchant right here. Oh, he was asleep. We startled him. We're going to be buying, you guessed it, the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook. This is going to once again expand our crafting repertoire. I'm also very interested in this bandit mask. I think we could pull that off. I think we could look pretty good in that. Oh, yeah. There we go, dude. Thank you for serenading me right now, too. This pickup is important because it gives us the recipe for the pickled turtle neck. As you can see, few resources go into this. The roa fruit we grabbed a ton of earlier. We have a couple turtlenecks, but we're going to need to get more, and there's an easy spot for that close by. We are at Summon Water Village. There's an optional boss you can fight rowing around in that boat over there. I'm going to leave them for the time being, instead heading east a little bit deeper into the area. There's also a lot of skeletons nearby. Keep an eye out for them. However, right here on the far coast, you'll see some stairs that are housing some turtles. It doesn't feel good to kill these defenseless dogs, but for doing so, we are receiving a turtleneck meat every single time we kill them. I'm also going to be using a key here. This stone sword key is going to open up this pathway, and as we traverse down, there are even more dogs inside of this area. Yep, that didn't feel good. That didn't feel good at all. If we open the door, however, there is a talisman just inside that helps with this very theme that we're farming towards right now. This is the green turtle talisman. It's going to increase our stamina regen, just like the shield on our back, and to the best of my knowledge, both of these things stack. Warmaster's Shack. It's definitely a place you don't want to be caught in after dark, but on the southern side of the bonfire, there is an herba spawn that constantly repopulates every time you rest. If you guys know of a better place to farm this stuff, please let me know down in the comments. I followed a few leads, and at least early on in the game, this one seemed like the best one. I checked a few other spots early on in the game, and I wasn't finding too much of anything. But with all of these put together, we can now start to craft these pickled turtlenecks. A lot of things to gather, but they're all relatively easy to gather once you know what to look for. This is a consumable item, so we're going to be putting that on our bar, and if this works, we should see it pop up with another new icon. Oh, there it is. So all three effects are stacking. Nice. That's not the only thing we got from this, though. We're also able to now craft the poison bone arrows as well, which is very similar to our rot arrows, but these are poison based. The advantage of this is that with our serpent bow, we actually are going to do even more damage with these poison arrows, and it's going to cause the poison buildup to happen even faster. Ideally, I'm applying both statuses to an enemy, running in, and then detonating that with our weapon art. I know that was a lot to set up. Thank you for your patience. I know crafting's not everyone's cup of tea. Let's go speedrun the castle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Stormvale Castle. When we were here originally, this took me 2-3 episodes to fully clear through, and Godrick himself took a lot of attempts. Well, today's going to go a little smoother. At least that is the plan. We're jumping onto the wall of the castle and hugging this right side. There are some birds in this area that are very difficult to deal with, and it's my goal to avoid them as best as I can. Hugging this right side is going to lead us directly to a grace, and if we sit and rest at this grace, it's going to reset this bird who's trying to kill me currently. Already dodging some of the hardest stuff here. Once it lets me please let me rest. Okay, fine, I'll kill it. Fine, now I'm gonna rest. Nothing could stop me. Now from here, heading up to the wall of the castle, there are going to be a few guys here that are calling in for some reinforcements. I'm not really going to stop and take a look at a lot of these items because I know what I want and I know how to get where I'm going. We are going to stop and just... Hey, I got hit from inside the wall. Hello? Get out here. Get over here. That is so rude. Unbelievable. You know what? Maybe I should also keep my buckler equipped here just in case there is something I want to parry. Now, the NPC that we killed, the merchant that we killed, if you don't kill him, what he will do is every time you die, he's going to be siphoning just a little bit of your runes off of the top. You may not even notice it. But over time, he could squeeze you out of a few level ups, and we wanted to avoid that, which is why we killed him. The other thing that changes is if you enter this room with him alive, a cutscene plays, and that guy actually locks you in here to die. This knight does hit pretty hard, especially if you're not ready for his moves, but we... Hold on, I gotta turn my torch on. No one's gonna be able to see fucking anything in here. Hey, slow down! Slow down! Hold on, I'm coming back in for you, hold on! See, aren't you glad we killed that merchant now? Rolling through those barrels instead of jumping over them destroys them, so those guys can't hit you with a firebomb like they did me. Same thing here, just break those on your way in and you're gonna be pretty well off. All jokes aside, you do not have to fight this guy. He is kind of spooky and I would totally understand just running out of this room. However, I'm gonna fight him. It's good practice for the other ones. He does have some reinforcements, though. Let's make sure we grab our runes to get out of here. That parry didn't look too bad. No, I have the timing for that relatively well down. I like how the guy in the doorway is simply observing now. He's like, whoa, no one's ever parried this guy before. Okay, he's over it. Just like I am. Just like I am. There it is. These guys can drop their gear, and it's kind of cool. I was farming it on my paladin character. I think it's pretty neat. It's got a nice shimmer to it. From there, the reason we went in there, by the way, was to get the rusted key, which opens up this gateway. From there, we're going to be climbing this ladder and making our way into a kind of central chamber for this area. It's a place you're going to be coming back to a lot depending on the paths that you take. And just because I'm running through this quickly, once again, please feel free to explore to your heart's content in your world. Got turned around a little bit. Watch left! We are just going for the most efficient run we can right now. Climbing up the stairs to the left, there is going to be another one of those silver knights. However, he actually spawns that far away. It's almost like he's in a holding pattern. Doesn't matter how long you take to get in here, his patrol's always going to be right there, at least in my experiences. This gray site is once again that central hub. There's a jumping trick you can do to skip a lot of the challenge here, and it's located just outside of this door. If we move to the right, look for these tiles that are kind of off kilter, and if we fall on this roof, jump over this wall and land on this lower area, we are literally already knocking on Godrick's door. Once I realized this, I couldn't believe how much time I spent in this castle. Now, there are some mini bosses hidden around in here somewhere. There's also a painting off to the left if you want to solve those puzzles. But for getting in here and getting our progression done, this is pretty straightforward. Resting to reset these guys. Hopefully they let me. If not, We'll be fine. This guy does some thrusting attacks. I wonder if I can make him fall down this elevator. He's having some trouble getting around that corner. We might need to reset him. Yeah, here we go. Now, right here. Well, one more time. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, he literally stops him from falling off. Well, if he's distracted, I'll just sit down. Now, from here, we're going to be heading east out this door that is opened up. There are some stairs that lead a little bit higher. Be warned, there are some birds here that are pretty gnarly. They also have some explosive barrels nearby that you do not want to get stuck in. There is a golden seed at the end of our path, which I'm not sure if we can actually upgrade our Estus just yet, but there it is. And once you get by this troll, the hardest part is done. If you wanted to make this a little easier, you could close your game out right now to reset the birds right behind you. I think I'm fine. Even if we die here, we have a grace site so close by that it's just going to be a 2-second run to get back to this anyway. And that is how I've been speedrunning the castle. Death aside, it's been pretty consistent. I got a little cocky with that Silver Knight, but it's incredible how much time this saves. I mean, like I said, this was literally a multi-episode exploration last time. And don't get me wrong, you could definitely still explore this place like crazy, but I know what I'm here for. So let's go through our checklist. Let's make sure we're ready. Talisman's equipped, new shield equipped, as well as the buckler, although we cannot block with our shield just yet. We have our serpent bow ready to go with 2 different types of ammunition. My plan is to hit this guy with the rot bone shots first to get him rotted, and then move in for poison. To help us poison him, we have poison grease. The reason we want this, by the way, is because, yes, my weapon art does apply poison, but if I can put it on just my normal swing, we should be able to build up the poison status effect much faster, and then I go in and actually use this to detonate the poison. Every time we do that, every time we remove the poison with my weapon art, it's going to deal 5% of our target's health. Against normal enemies, it's not that big of a deal, but against a boss that has several thousand HP, 5% could start to add up. So, if all of this was worth it, we should clear this no problem. I haven't upgraded my bow yet. I hope I don't regret that. Let's see how this goes. I'm kind of nervous.
Mighty dragon. Thou the true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. A lowly tarnished. Playing as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna lock on if we need to. That was a solid hit for 42. He does look like he's trying to dodge this stuff, and I believe he's about to shoot off a ranged attack for me. There it is. Whoa, slower than I thought, actually. Is he gonna keep dodging these? Remember, we only have a limited number, but it looks like we're catching him relatively well. He's kind of getting close to the edge over there, my dude. You might want to be careful. He's coming in this time. Here's the ranged attack. Oh, couldn't dodge it again. That's kind of a weird particle effect. Okay, I don't want him getting too close. So I'm actually gonna turn tail and run. Our entire goal is to get him status effect and then move in. He is not immune to rot. I even checked before we started just to make sure. Good roll there. Oh, follow up this time. He's changing his moves. If we can get this set up before round 2, phase 2, we should be set. Does that go through? No, but neither will his ranged attack, right? I guess I'm not right. Come on, my dude. Come on, my dude. Take it. He did have a high amount of resistance. It was like 319 for a buildup. And I don't know how much damage each shot does. But I'm kind of surprised we haven't hit it so far. That's, of course, you know, just assuming that the wiki is right as well. I'm backing up. I'm backing up. That looks scary. That was a flurry. Hey, the rot has taken place! Finally, look at that. It's ticking for 15 damage every second. That should last a little while as well. Let me get away from him here. He's rolling. I'm scared. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! No! It's better that we died because I turned boss music off earlier on accident. I forgot to turn it back on. So now we're going in for the full experience. Okay, so that was a little bit of a learning curve, but the rot did stick. We used several arrows, way more than I was expecting. So hopefully we find a way of farming these in our near future. We're going to have to make that a priority, which I know how. I'm just not excited about the zone I have to go to. So he's not going to greet us the same this time. We are, however, going to do the exact same strategy until... Oh, I see. The wind around him is actually deflecting arrows away. That could be part of the reason we weren't connecting when I thought we would. Hey, these are good shots. Just make them count. The more rapidly we fire these off right now, the better off we're going to be as far as actually getting the status effect to stick early on. Oh, here he is. I was greedy. I took the extra shot. Maybe I shouldn't have. Just back away from that and we're totally fine. Keep them going. It's got to be close. There it is. Scarlet Rot is applied. Let's heal up. Bring out the sword. Put the poison rot on the... Oh, I can't rot my weapon because of our art. Okay, that's fine. Here we go. Back it up. Scarlet Rot still doing its job. Sorry for the misinformation on whether or not I could actually apply the grease to this weapon. That's not that big of a deal. We can figure out a way around that. The Scarlet Rot's still in effect. I'm not seeing any poison just yet, though. Good dodges. He's got... There's the poison, I think. That's a lot of delayed attacks. Oh, this is his flurry. This could kill me. Ah! Get away. Heal up. He is still taking that damage over time. Look at that. 2,650 right now. Actually nuts. Let's just keep hitting him with the weapon art. This might be phase 2. Indeed it is. We can apply a lot of bleed buildup here just by swinging our weapon while he's screaming.
Truest of dragons, lend me thy strength. Forefathers, one and all! Witness!
Okay, boys. Here we go. We gotta dodge the flame. He's still taking damage over time from the Scarlet Rot. Unfortunately, that hit me. I'm actually gonna heal up. I don't want my health to get too low here. He came in with a really big charged attack. We just detonated some poison on him, though. That's feeling good. The damage over time is continuing. He's still being eaten away. Get the roll, get the roll. We don't even need it. Okay, we needed that one, though. Big dodge. Now we hit with the weapon art again. The Scarlet Rot has ended. We're on our own now. He's gonna do a flame attack here. I'm kind of in a bad spot. We're just gonna have to outrun this. Okay, what we can do with our bow while he's doing this is just fire off more poison on him. If we can get the poison to stick, then we can run in and detonate some damage on him. That's just a little bit of fire. That's not a big deal. And he's rolling around a lot. He's not doing as much wind stuff to deflect what we're doing either. And he seems to really be favoring this corner, which is fine with me. 45. Oh, this is deflecting. Good roll. Follow-up didn't even matter. Get the poison back on. Get it back on. There it is. There it is. There it is. Back to the katana. Two-hand. We go in and weapon art one time and we have this. Back it out. Back it out. Back it out. This is our opening right here. This is it. This is it. Oh! Right now. Ah! Heal up. Go back in. I mean, at this rate, fuck it, dude. Poison's got him, bro. Poison's got him, bro. Let's go.
I am the Lord of all that is golden.
Yeah.
One day, we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
There we go, boys. Godrick the Gratfted. A boss that took me over an hour of attempts our first time through. We just bled him dry. Or should I be more accurate and say rotted him and poisoned him until he couldn't move anymore. That's going to do it for today's episode, everybody. Sincerely hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again soon with the continuation of Hero's Journey. And that's 2 big obstacles knocked out back to back. Feels good, man.